Welcome guys, it is Crypto News Daily again. This will be the final Crypto News Daily for Friday. Until Monday, we'll be back on Monday. And it's a green day today guys. Look, everything is in the green, small percentage gains, still kind of going sideways, but everything is green apart from Bitcoin Gold. But who really cares about Bitcoin Gold? I mean, I don't. I guess some people do. Probably going to downfund me for that. Guys, if you do like this video though, please don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell, as that really helps me out. We've got a very short but interesting episode today. There are people that surprisingly think that Bitcoin is going to go to 1 million. I mean, what kind of person would think that, eh? IBM's head of blockchain says that Bitcoin will hit $1 million and teases support for XRP and BTC. Now, this news is being brought to you by dailyhodl.com. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just figured I'd shout them out. Links to everything that they put out will be in the description down below. Anyway, IBM's head of blockchain solutions says that he expects the price of Bitcoin to reach $1 million. In an interview with Finder.com, Jesse Lund said that he expects Bitcoin will rebound by the end of the year. I think it's going to be higher. I'll go with 5,000. That is my chair squeaking, not me farting. Yeah, I think it'll probably, I mean, I'm hoping that it reaches 5,000. I'm sure a lot of us are. And in the long run, Lund predicts the price of BTC will skyrocket to 7 figures. I have a long-term outlook. I've actually blogged about this a little bit. It goes back to that discussion about the utility of the network with a higher price. So I see Bitcoin at $1 million someday. I personally am not rich. I don't own a Bitcoin yet, even though it is this low. Maybe one day we'll all be rich. In addition to Lund says IBM's cross-border payment network, blockchain WorldWire, will support multiple cryptocurrencies. That's good. That's really good. It could be Ripple, it could be XRP even, it could be Bitcoin, but it would also probably include other instruments like stable coins and even eventually soon, hopefully, central bank issued digital currencies like, I'm guessing JP Morgan, the JP Morgan coin, which I hate the banks, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. According to Lund, a number of banks have already signed letters of intent to join the platform. We're going to be supporting more than 50 countries out the gate, 30 to 40 currencies and enough market makers to drag along 30 or 40 banks. So we'll have a significant portion of the world covered. We've got letters of intent with several banks around the world to support and issue digital currencies, stablecoins and other currencies. Our goal is to continue to expand that network and to provide global coverage within 3 to 5 years, where you can actually send remittances in a consistent way immediately and at very low cost from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world. Yes, we've got that. It's called Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of Bitcoin being $1 million. I think it will reach that, but I guess I'm kind of against the grain here. I'm not actually really a fan of banks being involved in Bitcoin because I genuinely believe that Bitcoin is something that could bring a lot of freedom to people. There are millions of people that are not banked in the world, and if cryptocurrencies become successful, those people may not need to ever be banked, and that would make their lives easier. Some of them don't have the documentation to become banked, and so if all they needed was a wallet and they had a way to earn, say for example Bitcoin, via, I don't know, maybe social media. Guys, if you do want to help me to earn some Bitcoin, the link to my wallet will be in the description down below. But it would definitely help the unbanked more and hurt banks, which I'm really happy about. In other news, there is physically backed crypto's futures coming very, very soon. Okay, so CoinFlex says that it's going to roll out physically backed Bitcoin, Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash futures in a matter of days. So I'm sure Roger Ver's going to be very happy with that. The Hong Kong-based company is a spin-off of CoinFloor, the UK's oldest Bitcoin exchange, and is partly owned by Bitcoin Cash televangelist Bitcoin Cash evangelist Roger Ver and Chicago-based fintech company Trading Technologies Limited. So Roger Ver's actually involved in this. I didn't know that. CoinFlex has launched its website and plans to offer Asian clients up to 20x leverage on all 3 cryptocurrencies. So they announced on their Twitter, "We're excited to announce the launch of our official website, coinflex.com. The official launch of the exchange will be coming soon. Please stay tuned with us. Find out more about us on their Telegram community," etc. For months, the crypto community has been clamoring for physical backed futures, which are paid out with the underlying cryptocurrency instead of cash. In a recent interview with Bloomberg, CoinFlex CEO Mark Lamb explains the importance of physically settled futures. Now, if you don't really understand why it's important, this will go into detail. If you're trading a cash settled future, you're open to manipulation of the index at the time of settlement. If you're a market maker, where you're doing a basis trade, where you're arbitraging the cash and spot markets, the cash markets versus the future markets, what you really want to be sure about is at the time of expiry, you know exactly what you're going to get. Obviously, you don't want it to change, right? With a physically delivered future, it really ties the future's price to the actual underlying asset, because at expiry, everyone knows what they're going to get. Everyone who's short delivers Bitcoin and receives cash. Everyone who's long delivers cash and receives Bitcoin. So that kind of tying down to the real world allows these types of futures to be used for much more than just speculation. They're great speculative tools, but they become useful for commercial hedging, hedging minor exposure, hedging an OTC trade, or making markets. Meanwhile, Intercontinental Exchange owner of the New York Stock Exchange is waiting on the Commodity Futures Trading Commission to approve the launch of its new crypto trading platform, Bakkt. Now, people are acting like Bakkt is going to be the savior of crypto and everything's going to be great. And it may well be, but it isn't at the moment, and I've got kind of doubts about it. So anyway, to continue on the article, which will deliver physically backed cryptos futures in the US after missing 2 target launch dates, and there was some kind of weird manipulation going on there with their announcements and stuff. The company now says it will launch later this year, pending regulatory approval, and calls the project its moonshot bet on Bitcoin and crypto. So just because they're having a moonshot bet doesn't necessarily mean it's going to reach the moon, right? So I said this is going to be a short one today, but an interesting one. And yeah, this should interest you guys. It interested me, and it gives a perfect reason as to why we need Bitcoin. Venmo, not Bitcoin in brackets as it says here, flags account over ethnic sandwich, plus Ripple and XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tron, Bitcoin Cash, and IOTA crypto news alert. Forget the news alert. This is what is interesting us today. From a new example of the power of Bitcoin and blockchain to $1 million donation from Ripple, here's a look at some of the most interesting stories in the world of crypto. Okay, so why Bitcoin? An ordeal over the purchase of a sandwich is highlighting why Bitcoin was invented to eliminate intermediaries. A Reddit user says the mobile payment service Venmo flagged his account for sending money to a friend who bought him a Cuban sandwich. Venmo's compliance department asked for a complete and detailed explanation of what the payment was for, because the user placed the word Cuban in the description of a payment. This is why we need Bitcoin, guys. And look, hello Marsha, thanks for using Venmo. We're reaching out in hopes that you can help us better understand some recent activity on your account. Venmo is a fully regulated money service business. Our compliance department implements the proper controls to ensure our payment platform is properly being used. To ensure that, we need your help in explaining a recent transaction. On the 2nd of the 20th, 2019, you sent a payment for the amount of $7 Amount of $7 for Cuban. We're trying to understand your reference to Cuban. Purpose of this payment, including a complete and detailed explanation of what you intend to pay for and the establishment location if applicable. The Venmo inquiry shines a spotlight on the simplicity of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and peer-to-peer transactions. So basically, it was on a Reddit thread, right? But this guy here, which I'm going to block out his name, I think. This guy here just put it perfectly. Basically, what he's saying, if you want to pause this video, is that Richard Nixon effectively destroyed the world in terms of, finances. And honestly, if you ask me, Nixon was the worst ever American president that affected so many people's lives negatively. But essentially, what they're talking about is that money is now being used as a system of control, right? And so when the person put Cuban in the description of their payment, what happened was it flagged up, and it has a lot to do with the Americans sanctioning Cuba, right? And so because Venmo has to abide by certain laws when it comes to finances, they had to, basically that had to be flagged up on the system. Anything related to Cuba was flagged up on their system. What I recommend, guys, if you're interested to find out how Nixon kind of destroyed the world's freedom, is to go and watch a video by Andreas Antonopoulos. I'll leave a link to that in the description. And I recommend anybody that is in Bitcoin, in any type of cryptocurrency, to go watch that video, because that video really cements the level of control that banks and other organizations, government organizations, want over us. And I mean, they want so much control, at times you get ridiculous things like this. Anyway, that's been the free crypto news stories that I chose to bring to you guys. Even though the last one wasn't strictly crypto, I thought it was pretty funny. And I'm going to be back on Monday. We take the weekends off here. And guys, if you do like this, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And don't forget to share the videos. That really, really does help me. So I will see you on Monday.